what extent have local governments run with that?
Some have run and some have not. I was reading something in Mahoning Valley. I can't remember. There's a story out there where they had duplicative services between the county and the local, the city, and they just couldn't get their act together. I think that was the story. I just don't remember it all. But some have done a great job in shared services, and I've pushed our own operations to do shared services, and we see it in developmental disabilities in particular. But some districts, some school districts are sharing treasurers now. Maybe you can have a word about what you're seeing out there across. Randy.
Thank you, Governor. Randy Cole from OBM. We did a survey of local governments, what they're doing with shared services. We'll be coming out with that information soon, but we got responses from 1,800 governments across the state, and we found they are saving hundreds of millions of dollars through shared service arrangements, but that's a small part of the $107 billion total that state and local government spends in the state annually. So we'll be coming out with more of that information. What I'd say is we have proven that the shared services concept is working, but they haven't taken full advantage of it to get the real savings we need as they transform their systems.
I can give you an example. Local fire departments, for a
Come on up here, David.
They have had to, 70% of firefighters in Ohio are volunteer firefighters, and they're dispersed all over the state. They've had to come into Columbus, Ohio in order to maintain certification or go to different places around the state to be able to get certification. We've put those certification opportunities online and developed a program for them to be able to utilize that at approximately $20 to $35 per year. That saves our local fire departments significant amounts of money and also a lot of time, energy, and effort on those folks that are volunteering their time so they can stay home with their families and do the work that they do at home.
The biggest problem in many cases with shared services is turf and ego. I'm now in charge of something and somebody's telling me I'm not. I get that. I understand when somebody tells you, well, you're going to have to change things, and you go from 2 superintendents to 1. That means one person's not a superintendent anymore. And so it's hard. But over time, and like we're down total number of employees in the state, and we have preferred to do it through retirements, not through getting rid of people. So there are opportunities to move, and make it easier. But it is hard when you are in local government to share services and break up the turf. Because, when you do that and you create a ruckus, it's not always that comfortable to do. But we think it's important that people do it, and some people are fantastic and it's harder for others, but we'll just be forever patient on this and keep pushing the change that we think is good for the taxpayer, good for everybody. Frankly, here's what I found out on our ability to do this Six Sigma. We now have, I think, Blair, I don't know where Blair went, I think he had an important meeting or something, but I think we have now 10 black belts here in Ohio. You know what a black belt is? Haven't you ever seen Kung Fu? No, no, these black belts are people that, where's our chart, Rich? A chart on the workforce development. You have it?
It's down in my office.
Well, of course it would be. Why would we have it up here where anybody can see it? Somebody run down there. Quick, go down there and bring that chart up here. They can take these monstrous, or I say monstrous, that's the wrong word. They can take these very complicated, confusing organizations and break them down. I walked into the Department of Transportation and saw they had this whatever the heck, this chart up here, and it went from right where you're sitting, sir, all the way around the front of the room in terms of how they process one thing. They brought the black belts in, they did Six Sigma, they involved all the people that work in there, and they've saved countless numbers of days and efficiencies and hassles for people. And I said, well, how did it go? They said, well, we really didn't like one another when we started the process, but now we love one another because things work better, it's more efficient. And so it's like shared, it's just waste. Here's, what it gets down to. Think of it as your money. When you start thinking about things as your money, you behave differently. That's always the way in which I've operated in the government, is when I spend my money on it, and the Six Sigma allows us to rationalize how we do things. Now you think, I got to tell you all, you don't understand, I don't think, the gravity of this job training stuff. Here's the current way in which we do job training, okay? I wonder why it doesn't work. Look at this, okay? We brought the Six Sigma people in. All these boxes are different programs. We don't know how any of them are really working. They don't work together. So we bring the Six Sigma people in. I said, I've had it with this. And they've converted into this. Now let me just tell you what this means. My kids have like 10 drawers of clothes. Okay? They now took the 10 drawers and put all those 10 drawers of clothes into 2 drawers. It's better, but it's still not fixed. So the next process, now that we get it to here, the next process is we consolidated all these programs is to figure out which ones work and which ones don't. Now why wouldn't the government have ever done that before? Well, because I think the government didn't do a lot of stuff before. To be honest with you, it's all kind of broken. And so what we're going to do is we're going to measure this. Now let me just ask you a question. When Greg Moody takes entities of the state government that does Medicaid, how many places did we do Medicaid in the state of Ohio?
5 agencies.
Okay, 5 agencies. When Greg tries to take work out of 5 agencies and put them in one, how popular do you think Greg is? No, I mean, I'm serious. It's easier to just put those things off, which is what we are not doing. We are trying to tackle them. And it really makes a difference in the delivery of services. It makes a difference in the morale of the people who work in these places, who know the system doesn't work. It's just a big, big, big win, but it's not really very easy to do. And on workforce development, we're breaking a lot of glass on that. We're starting to tell community colleges they have to work together. Do you know how, I know many of you have had papers that have written about what these university presidents have done in eliminating this formula and coming together with one little bill. I mean, what a difference that makes. We have a lot of other places to go on all this, but the bottom line is, if we can work together, be more efficient, more effective, sure services, keep the ego down, we got a long, long way to go. We could really be successful. Maybe it sounds boring, but it's not to me, because it's saving me money and all of you.
Governor,
yes.
There's already a bill in the legislature